why tools are important? Because, for example, if you are a musician, you're interested in physics or acoustics, how the violin is making sound, or are you interested in making the sound? I guess you want to just make a beautiful sound. So you don't unscrew your violin and looking inside, right? You're just making sound. And that's why, for example, this is from 94, Moreland Delphi, Sweet Memories. This is another example of good tools. The NetBeans Visual Designer. All these tools that can actually help you to save time and concentrate on the task. And now, because the cool stuff about engineering and the good software companies, when you combine all kinds of tools, technologies, and the services and devices, and of course when you combine the kitchen sink and refrigerator all together, and that's what is good about engineering and tools. And if there's a tool exists that provides you good development, why not use it? So where do we use it? We do it for the prototyping, for some real development, for the building the mock-ups of the iPhone apps, for making the front ends for our customers, and quite a lot of the homebrew projects that we do is based on the combination of tools. I'll give you one little demo before finishing the presentation. How you can combine Dashcode, NetBeans, QuickTime Player, AppleScript. Do you know what is AppleScript? Right? And the XAMPP. Do you know what is that? It's just a package name for the Mac where you package together the Apache, MySQL, PHP in the very convenient package. So let's jump to the demo. I have here NetBeans, and if you know anything about Java, I hope, what this software is doing right now, it's a servlet. It looks up the directory, this one, here. So it's looking up the files in the specific folder. I can show you this folder on Zoom. It's in here, in the applications, in the, where is it? I have just a bunch of video files in there. So it just looks up the files using the dumbest and simplest and most beautiful JSON Java library I could find to generate a very simple JSON feed and just put it to the stream. What happens next? I have the dash code in here, and I will create very basic default project called browser. It looks by default like this. I'll switch to the mobile Safari view. Yes. Security. Can't do anything about this. Sorry, first simulator start is a bit long, but we can do some other stuff. I can close some other applications, for example. Yeah, fine over here. Okay, so just browser master detailed data source, nothing else. Pretty cool though. So we have such a wonderful template in here. You can see how it looks like. So there is a code browser, and you can see how Apple is doing it here. You can browse through all the JavaScript and folders, etc., etc. But I'm interested about this. The magic happens in the data source. So in here we have the dummy JSON feed. What I will do next, I have pre-made link to my local machine, so I don't have to type. I'm bad at typing. I will paste it here. Watch this. It got the JSON feed, it parsed it, and and it offers me, hey, I have this cool stuff in here. So what I want to do, I want to have, for example, this content will drag in here and it will be data array. And then there's a name of the file, I will drag it in here as the text. Theoretically, it's supposed to work already. So imagine about sucking the JSON feed from the web service with few clicks, that's it, I have it here. No details, but at least it got my files in here. Isn't it cool? What happens next? Let's do a bit of detailed editing. So now I want that in my detailed view, that is in here. This is going to be title. No, not this one, sorry. This one. Let's try. Hopefully everything is working. So master, yeah. What happens next? Let's add some other cool things. Let's add in here visual component. Guys, do you really have to speak all the time? I'm sorry. No, here it looks ugly. Let's put it here. There's a visual component for the movie. And guess what? I have, of course, the URL. Dropping it here as the source. Now I'll do the trick in my NetBeans because now it outputs the... Let's let it output just the local source. Redeploying to the Tomcat. Boom, it works. Switching back, running. So I have movie, video. Isn't it cool? Just visual programming, no coding. If you want to code, you can do it. And final part of the demo would be, because, for example, with the Apple script, you can control everything on the Macintosh. You can control, for example, QuickTime Player, and you can put the buttons in here that would launch all kinds of actions with these movies. I'm not going to bug you with the details. I'll just show it from my real iPhone. So again, I will change it back to the real IP addresses, not the local host. I will redeploy it here. This is iPhone. They link together with the wireless, and I am running, if you guys can see, so exactly the same movies in here. So I will select my favorite James Bond. I have buttons that do send commands to the NetBeans, and in NetBeans I just printing the AppleScript commands to the console and just launching them. So let's open QuickTime with the James Bond. Let's play it. Now watch the response time. Pause, play, pause, close, close. Let's go there. Another move. Open, play. I think it's pretty cool. But what's the coolest part about that? Let's close it. Let's open something else. I'm a big fan of Jackie Chan. And now I'm doing playback from the same machine, on the machine and on the iPhone. So I think it's pretty cool. So these kind of visual tools are available for, I don't know, 2 years for free. No Apple approval process, nothing. And with the recent Androids, most of this stuff works pretty well. You can do manually some tricks with the CSS, and then it will work even better. And the main slide that I'm going to show you. Well, actually, there are 3 slides that I'm going to show you. What is that? There is a story behind it. Do you know how to do programs in Symbian? How to do software in Symbian? It's a painful process. So, one day I had one of my most senior Symbian developers sitting and telling me, Michael, I'm about to cry. And I asked, what happened? And he says, well, I just did with the Qt in 2 hours something that would take days if I would do it with the native S60. Does it mean that I wasted my life? So, when we have right tools, right level of abstractions, the gain in productivity and our creativity is enormous. As the engineers, we're going to have these parts, not nuts and bolts always. But if our APIs and tools are too low level, we feel like we chained and there is no way out. And if you have right tools like Qt or good SDKs, nuts and bolts are going to stay with us forever. We're engineers, it's okay, we love this stuff, but then we get a bit of fresh air and a bit of space for our creativity. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.